97 Radio. It's how we kick off the Ron and Fez show here till 11 o'clock tonight.
If you want, you can jump along with this.
Former St. Louis Blues player Mike Danton admitted in federal court Friday that he sought to have his agent killed.
Have your agent killed.
Kill your agent.
Just thinking about it. I'd rather have that than this free prostitution they're bringing to Vegas.
With all the clients, it would take forever to figure out who didn't have a motive.
You know, why doesn't this happen more often? You would think that most of the time when it's a murder for hire, an agent is going to be at the wrong end of this deal.
So, and the girlfriend is saying, you know, she's pleaded innocent, even though she said, well, I could probably help you with that and help you find someone.
Yeah, of course. You know, I mean, he's one of the Blues. What are you going to say? No, I break up with you? Of course she'd be there. She was just going along with him. That was her little gimmick.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. was hospitalized with burns on his face and legs during a practice for a race in Sedona. When will we put an end to NASCAR?
Fuzzy, you can't have safe NASCAR. Is that what you're after now?
Yes, you should be able to have an event where one of the cars doesn't burst into flames. A sport where equipment doesn't burst into flames.
Well, Fez, people show up because it's a dangerous sport, and these guys are basically daredevils and great technicians, and that's the excitement of the sport. If this didn't happen every once in a while, people will go, why even have cars? Why don't you just have little joysticks and have a video game? If all you're really after is how good somebody's reactions are, what's the big deal? When you put them out there in those cars, that's where the excitement starts.
This video was so frightening over the weekend. Well, the long shot where you see the car burst into flames is bad enough. Then the inside camera.
Yeah, they all have inside cameras now.
When they had that shot, the flames going off like right in his face.
Now, have you ever seen a NASCAR accident that wasn't scary as hell? And every single time you see one of them, you're going, there's no way. There's no possible way he could get out of there.
Yeah, every one of them looks awful, and when they show him in slow motion, it always amazes me. The one car that seems to just get past it in half a second.
Right.
Like a split second earlier, he would have just been destroyed.
Yeah, and that's the way every accident is in NASCAR. 50 other guys could have been in it if they just didn't make the right move and have a little bit of luck going their way. But no, I don't think you're ever going to have NASCAR without accidents. It's not going to go down that way. And it's safer now than ever before. Fezzy, former Colts quarterback Art Schlichter was ordered to pay more than $500,000 to 22 victims of a ticket selling scam. What is wrong with him? He's 44 years old now. He's been in trouble now for about 22 of those years. What is wrong with Art Schlichter?
Art Schlichter has this weird addiction where he's addicted to scams. Where he can't stay away from, a shady deal.
Well, the actual addiction that he has is the gambling addiction. Whether that's an addiction or not, I don't know. They call it one. For us that... you'll make a bet occasionally without tying everything up and feeling like you need to make a crazy deal to get out of it so you won't get your eyeballs taken out. It's really hard to imagine. But this guy has been dealing with this since he was in college back in the early 80s?
Yeah, I think he went to the NFL in 82.
Yeah, but didn't he also even have college trouble with it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then when he went to the Colts, there was problems there, gambling on games.
And how many interviews have you read over the years that he's done? It used to be in Sports Illustrated, when Inside Sports would always be thank God that's over, I found a new lease on life, everybody's rooting for the guy, and again, he keeps ending up back in trouble. Maybe it is an addiction, maybe it's some kind of morality flaw. I don't know, because it's the one addiction I got to say I don't share at all. Any kind of gambling addiction is just confusing to me.
It's like that's part of the scam with him is to get everybody, get the sympathy, get some sort of trust back.
Well, that's every addiction. Every addiction, you go back, you say the right things, everybody believes you, and then you mess up again. It's kind of part of the healing process. But this is an odd one. Now, here's the weird thing. You gamble every week during football season, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever think I'm going to go in over my head or try to win that money back? Or do you ever find yourself going, I've bet more than I need to?
Yeah, that happens to me. And you get that like Monday night thing where you start thinking, I can get it all back
Right.
Packers-Vikings on Monday night.
Have you ever bet, let's say, the rent check or money that you need?
No, I've never gone that far.
Could you, though? You understand the addiction?
Yeah, I could definitely see, because things start, when you get into that position where you're losing,
Yeah.
you get a thought in your head where, all right, I can't possibly keep losing. This is going to turn around. And for some reason, even though you've gone a weekend where you've picked crap, you know the next thing you pick is a sure thing. That next thing seems even more and more sure.
You know what's really weird, too, about football gambling? You ever notice Monday morning, you sit there, you kind of go over everything, you're looking at the scores. It all looks so obvious. Then you're going, of course the Packers were going to have a letdown. How did I not see that? Of course it was the Raiders' week. They had lost 3 in a row. They're not on a losing streak. They're due. Everything looks as obvious as it could on a Monday morning.
It's like watching a TV game show where they give you the answer, and then you're going, oh, I knew that. You know, because
it's very true. That Jeopardy, right after you hear it, obviously that is the answer.
It's that split second of clarity.
Should we step in this year and have you not gamble on football?
Oh no, that's what I look forward to.
Yes, like a gambling addict, like some kind of degenerate.
But and it's just football. So I don't, baseball, basketball.
You know no other sports. You know football and wrestling, and no one is going to make wrestling bets. But it's really funny. We always do those wrestling polls, and you know wrestling, and you know all the gimmicks, and you follow the storylines, and still you rarely win when we get together and everybody fills out the pool.
Yeah, filling out the sheet of matches. I never pick a good sheet of winners for that night.
And I never watch the Raw or whatever for a month, and I just go through by names that I like, and I normally do at least as good as you. That's the problem with gambling, that you really could go to your little sister and go, pick the ones that you want, and she will do at least almost as good as you. And almost as good as those guys who are screaming on the cable TV, call me now, 5 guaranteed winners. Why doesn't the government step in and go, all right, how many guaranteed winners are you giving out every week? Because you aren't going 5 for 5.
Yeah, there must be some fine print disclaimer on those shows where it says, you could lose money.
See, I would never use one of those, because the whole thing is you want to feel like you're the one who's got the magic touch, not calling some other guy and making his bets.
It is great when you're the one person that took the Terps over the weekend, and you can just throw that around.
Yeah, but the problem is what do you do when you win? Hey, drinks for the house. Let me pick up these chicken wings for everybody. It's such found money. No one ever takes their gambling money and go, oh, now I'm going to get my kid's teeth fixed. This is what I was looking for. It just goes right out the window as quick as you get it.
The amazing thing is whether you're winning or losing, if you're on either streak, there's really still, now that I think about it, a sense of invincibility. Where it's like if you pick all the winners, you think, well, I got the lucky hand, I can't be beat. And if you're losing, you're thinking the next one is going to be the one I hit on.
See, like maybe you don't have a real problem now, but you talk exactly like Art Schleicher. And before I know it, you're going to be a part of some dumb ticket scam. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. It's the Ron and Fez Show.